Well, I think it's about time that I actually made a fidget toy of my own. So I 3D printed this one, and we're going to get into Fusion here, and I'm going to walk you through really quickly on how I made this. So I'm first starting, I'm going to insert my logo, which I have as an SVG file from Illustrator. I'm going to use this as the main body shape, and then I'm also going to indent the parts of my logo into the main body of the piece. So I'm just doing an extrude command into this, actually out of it. And now I'm drawing a circle on the back that I'm going to use as the lid to hold both these pieces together. And then I'm drawing one ring slightly smaller to fit for the bottom part of it. If you have it a one-to-one fit, it tends to not go in very well. It's a little too tight with 3D printing. So I'm going to extrude that in a little bit and bring down. Now I'm going to do the base of it here. So I'm taking that inner ring that I drew and extending that out and just renaming these to keep it organized. Now I'm going to draw a circle for the inside that I want to kind of have these kind of an alignment pin for these to fit together. And extrude that all the way down to cut a hole through it. And now I'm going to do a shell command to make that inner, the bottom part of this hollow, kind of more the shape that I'm looking for. Now I'm going to draw another circle here and cut out a line to kind of make a little shark fin looking piece. And I'm going to do a circular pattern here to repeat that around. At this point I'm making the kind of ratchet for the inside and just cleaning up the sketch, deleting some extra things, and I'm putting some circles in. This really isn't anything other than trying to cut down on the amount of filament that I'm using. Really, it doesn't make much of a difference. And just extruding that out and then putting a fillet around all of these edges to smooth them out so the pin that I'm going to use later can easily transition between each of those teeth. And I'm just going to add a fillet to the bottom of that as well. It'll make it a little bit stronger. And you can see here in the right I have my first couple of attempts of an idea for making the noise. That didn't really work out, and I'll get into that later. So now I'm just adding the rest of the stuff to the bottom, and I'm taking the sketch from the top and offsetting it from the bottom, so those line up perfectly, rather than redrawing the sketch. And 3D printing it. Gonna see how this first test comes out. And as you can see, I had some problems. These are all my failed prints of different ideas I had for making the little clacking noise. So I ended up just going back to it, cutting a hole in, and I'm just going to slide a piece of filament in there. So just reprinting my final drawing out, and finally have a good print. And it worked pretty well. So these are my two pieces, and you're going to need some filament, some scissors, and a lighter. So you're going to clip the two pieces together. They should be very snug, but slide, but they will be tight where they're really hard to come apart, which is what we want. And next we're going to take a piece of that filament and jam it into that hole, kind of till it hits, trim it off, and then use a lighter to burn the end of it to melt it and kind of attach it to that, into that hole. The nice thing about this is if that little snap breaks, which all my other previous ones did, you could just replace the filament in here and you're not really out having to reprint a whole nother piece. So here's the final piece, and I hope you enjoyed it. thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe, please share it, please like. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks.